Good afternoon, committee members. My name is Emilio Ramirez. I am Housing Director for the City of Oxnard. We are before you to present the low-rent public housing and housing choice voucher program budgets for fiscal year 22-23 for the Oxnard Housing Authority. Public housing budget is required by HUD regulations and must be approved and submitted prior to July 1 of each year. Each project is each public housing site or project is funded and accounted for in a separate manner, where the overall program budget is recommended at approximately $6.8 million. Funding levels are set by congressional appropriations, and while we don't know the current year appropriation, we are estimating to be at 95%. The public housing budget recognizes 7 public housing sites, which include Colonia Village, Felicia Court, Colonia Road, Pleasant Valley, Plaza Vista, Palm Vista, and a collection of scattered sites, including Cuesta del Mar, Althea, Concord, Fashion Park, Fremont, and Hill Street. The public housing revenue sources include tenant rent, the operating subsidy from HUD, which is up and down every year depending on appropriations, management fees, and other miscellaneous income. Total budget revenue for the next fiscal year shows a reduction of income of $175,000, which is mostly caused by the reduction in operating subsidy of approximately $473,000. The public housing operating expenses include administration, tenant services, utilities, maintenance, general expense, and other operating expenses. The operating expense reduced by $302,000, but it is not in proportion to the reduction in income. Thus, there is a budget gap of approximately $319,000, which we propose to backfill with reserves. The Oxnard Housing Authority operates a housing choice voucher program as well, in addition to the public housing program, and it operates with a collection of standard Section 8 vouchers plus other special purpose vouchers that have been allocated to the Oxnard Housing Authority. HUD contributes funding to the Housing Administration to pay for housing assistance and administration, and it does so on a proportionate share to the underused relative to the HAP amount that we receive, which is approximately $22.3 million. Administrative funds are allocated based on the number of vouchers that are leased or utilization. Eligibility for administrative funds comes from HUD and is based on congressional appropriations, where we estimate the current administrative fee to be a proration of 85.8% of the need. The majority of the revenue in the Section 8 program is a pass-through to landlords. Section 8 budget for next fiscal year includes a budget deficit of approximately $285,000. 3 program budget include significant budget deficit, and staff proposes to close each deficit with the use of reserve balances as identified on screen. And admittedly, for this purpose, the reserves exist. So staff recommends that the committee recommend to the Board of Commissioners to adopt the resolution approving the recommended 6.872 operating budget for public housing fiscal year 22-23 as presented for each project area, and approve and authorize the use of $575,000 of unrestricted cash to close the budget deficit. Let's adopt the resolution approving and recommend $25 million operating budget for the Section 8 program for fiscal year 22-23, and approve and authorize the use of $285,000 of unrestricted cash to fund the projected deficit. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.